Hey everybody, how's it going? It's ATC, that's Adam Talks Cars. Today I am here with the Lexus IS 500 F-Sport Performance. Man, what a treat. Let's get started.
So basically, from what I can see of this car, it looks good from every single angle. There is not a bad angle that you can find on this car. The hood bulge is unbelievable. It looks better in person than in pictures or over video. You have the BBS wheels, which you can also get on the IS 350 if you get the F-Sport handling package, which I didn't know, but I thought that was pretty interesting. So they're not actually unique to the launch edition of the IS 500. From the back, you have the quad staggered exhaust, which is unique to the IS 500, very reminiscent of the ISF from a decade ago. You know, this car is very similar. It has the same engine, tuned differently, but it's the same 5-liter V8 that's found in the RCF, the LC 500. You know, Lexus isn't groundbreaking. You know, they're not doing anything groundbreaking, but by making it old school and using the same engine that they've had for over a decade and putting it in their compact sports sedan, it is groundbreaking because everybody has stopped doing it. There is no other naturally aspirated V8 sports sedan that's like this. I think only the Dodge Charger or the Challenger, whichever one the 4-door is, I can never remember if it's the Charger or the Challenger, is the only other naturally aspirated V8 sedan. And that thing is ginormous, extremely heavy. This car weighs right about the same as the new M3, about 3,900 pounds. And like I said, naturally aspirated 8-cylinder engine. That's really where the beauty of this comes into play. Main exterior differences, like I said, the hood bulge, the quad tip exhaust, and the rims. Also worth noting, the color, Incognito Gray, is completely exclusive to the 500 launch edition models. And this one that I have here is number 26 of 500. I don't believe you can get the launch edition in any other color besides Incognito Gray. I guess if I had to compare it to another color, I would say Nardo Gray from BMW. It's pretty similar to that, and it's a beautiful color. Another difference that you'll find, the suede trimmed seats, suede lined seats, which is unique to the launch edition of the IS 500. You'll see also the suede on the door panel. But besides that, it's pretty similar to the 350, but at least from the outside, at least just looking at it, it's pretty similar. Like when I send pictures of this car, which I have been, to people, they say, what's so special? But you don't really know how special it is unless you know, right? It's not a car like a Civic Type R where it's screaming in your face, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. This car is subtle, but spectacular. Spectacular in its subtlety, I would say. Really special. All right, I'm gonna go inside, start it up, and we'll take a look at some of the interior features. All right, I'm inside the IS 500 now. You see the F Sport. You know, it's interesting that they decided to call this the IS 500 and not an ISF, considering the level of performance that this car has. But you can see the launch edition badge down here. IS 500 launch edition, number 26 of 500. And like I said, the suede on the door panel. This car only, the launch edition only comes in black with the gray suede. There is no other interior color that you can get. All right, I have the door open and I'm going to start up the car, take a listen. Oh my God. Man, it gets me every time. It really feels so special. It is special. What a fantastic, and it's not obnoxious, you know, it's not screaming, look at me, or hear me, but it just does enough for the people that know to say, wow, so special. So on the interior down here, you have automatic high beams here. This is your 360 view button. This is your rear sunshade, and ASC's active sound control, so that'll bring more noise into the cabin of the vehicle, okay? And then, you know, just trunk latch and hood pop. That's pretty straightforward. Odo trip will show your odometer, and then if you want to record a trip, you can. And it'll also show the maximum amount of miles until you should bring the car back to be serviced. And then these two little arrows control the brightness of your gauge cluster. So there you have your gauge cluster. This is in normal mode. If I put it in eco, it looks like this. Back to normal, into sport, and then sport plus. Tachometer is extremely visible. The red line of this car is 7,100 RPMs, so over 7,000 RPMs. Peak horsepower is 472, and peak torque is 395. 0 to 60 time is 4.4, but I've seen some recordings of 4.2, 4.3, so let's say low 4-second range for 0 to 60. You know, it's not an M3 beater in terms of performance, but it's not supposed to be. It's at the price point of an M340i, right? It's not supposed to compete with an RS5 or an M3, and it's not trying to. The center, very standard for the IS. All your climate controls are the same. Your screen is the same if you have the navigation package, of course. The navigation package obviously comes with the launch edition. But everything else is all straightforward IS. So basically what makes this car so special is that it's the last naturally aspirated 8-cylinder sports sedan that may ever exist. And this engine is tried and true. Lexus has been using it over a decade. We know how reliable it is. So you buy this car now, in 10 years, guess what? It's going to hold its value better than any of its competitors, and it's going to be running smoothly. And there's not another option out there that you can say that about. Yeah, you can buy an M3, and the day you buy it, it's going to be faster than this car. But in 10 years, when that car is worthless and always broken down, and this car is still running smooth at 100,000, 120, 130,000 miles, that's really where the difference is. You know, you sacrifice a little bit of performance, but better value, better longevity. It's extremely comfortable as well. You know, this is a car that's daily drivable. If you live in a southern or drier climate, I wouldn't recommend daily driving this car here in the Northeast, you know, since it's only rear-wheel drive. But you could drive it every day if you made that decision. You know, it's not like this car's beating you up, you know, it's still a luxury vehicle. So it's worth noting from the driver's position that hood bulge is always visible. It's always that gentle reminder, look at what you have. And listen to the low grumble of the engine. Always, it always is gurgling and growling, always, non-stop. Even, you know, I'm at less than 1,000, 2,000 RPMs, and you hear the grumble and the growl, always a constant reminder, this is what you have. And like I said, I haven't been able to take the car above 3,000, so I can't imagine how good it sounds when you get in the higher range of the RPMs. Yeah, so those are just some of my final thoughts. This is a really special car. It's been a privilege to sit in it, drive it around. I only drove it around in the parking lot. I wasn't able to get it above 3,000 RPMs without feeling like I was doing something stupid. But that's okay. You know, it's better than not being able to drive it at all, that's for sure, you know. It's cool that I could always say that I drove the IS 500 launch edition. Yeah. All right. If you guys have any questions about the car, I'm happy to answer them. Remember, this is ATC. That's Adam Talks Cars. I will catch you next time. Peace out.